What up? What
Our
up? What up? What up? What up? What up?
welcome in to Chasing Chips podcast. We're here. Game 3 is over. Suns got another W. Good for y'all. But we started off the morning real spicy. Congratulations. So Josh sent me a text message of a tweet from Fabad. He said the LA Clippers lose by 5 points without Kawhi Leonard and Paul George against a healthy Phoenix Suns team that shot 46 free throws tonight, 21 more than the Clippers. And then you sent me the response from a Phoenix fans. This dude is going to spend his career talking about how great the Clippers would have been if only Paul George and Kawhi Leonard could stay healthy.
Which I didn't say, but it was funny.
I don't think it was funny. I think we
It is
all
funny. No, say that again. Say it again. Just say it again. That
say
that
what
tweet.
again? The
That
tweet.
tweet.
Which one?
The one that I thought was funny.
This dude is gonna spend his entire career talking about how great the Clippers would have been if only Paul George and Kawhi Leonard could have stayed healthy.
That's kind of funny.
It's not. I'm a Clipper fan. That's not funny to us. I, I
Okay.
I I do agree. I do agree. If we were healthy, we would be good. But the one healthy year we had, we tricked it off and lost when we were up 3-1. It only
hmm
sucked that year. We were in the bubble, so mentally it was tough for some guys. Obviously, people don't remember Kawhi didn't want to play. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to sit out because he knew mentally. And then PG also talked about how mentally it was hard in the bubble. But any of that, they haven't been healthy
hmm
since then. One guy's been
Yeah.
hurt and things like that. The biggest thing that I do want to talk about, and I'm no, I'm not gonna. We're gonna get to the game in a little bit. I do want to say this to you:
hmm
is that last night ruffled a lot of people's feathers
Mm.
about the Suns.
Yeah.
It's not that the Suns, and we talked about it. I think the Suns are the best team on paper. You know what I'm saying
Yeah.
right now. Do they
hmm
look like the best team in the league? They do not. Can they? Yes. But
hmm
there's a lot of things that goes into why a lot of people hate on the Suns right now, particularly last night. The
hmm
Clippers, no one thought the Clippers were going to win last night. No one thought the Clippers were even going to be close last night, you know?
hmm
And they were. And not only did because of that, that ruffled a lot of people's feathers. When I got a lot of texts, a lot of groups I'm in were talking about if the Suns, Clippers, people were telling me this, Charles, man, the Clippers were healthy, they would beat the Suns. If the Clippers had both guys, they would beat. This is not even me saying this. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I think both guys is still going to be a tough series. Even if Paul and Kawhi were healthy, it's still a tough series. I think you guys play up to your competition and sometimes play down to your competition. But
hmm
there's a lot of factors that go into the Suns. People don't like Devin Booker for some odd reason.
Okay.
People don't like CP3 for obvious reasons. People don't don't understand KD because of his decisions he's made in the past few years. He left a great situation with the Warriors to make up his own situation at the Nets. It didn't work. And then he gets lucky enough to end up on another super team. You know what I'm saying? So the second
Whoa,
time
whoa, whoa,
around,
whoa. Super
no.
team. Super team. Whoa. I'm gonna stop you there. Super team. Since when were the Suns ever a super team? Like you can't play both sides. See, that's what's funny about the Suns' hate is that people play both sides of the fence, especially with KD coming. They say that KD joined a super team, but then they said that we weren't shit before when we lost to the Mavs, and then they say Chris Paul's old, Aiton's soft, but yet Kevin Durant is joining a super team. I think that's bullshit. But continue.
I mean, look at the end of the day, the people that flip flop don't know basketball for real. Those are casual. People that know basketball, y'all were in the conference finals 2 years ago.
Yeah, people that
You're
hate on Devin Booker are casuals anyway, so it's all
I
good.
understand that.
Continue.
Yeah, I understand it.
Continue.
But look at if we look
I
at
want
the
you to make a
facts,
point.
if we look at the facts,
Yeah.
the Suns went to the conference finals 2 years ago. The
Okay.
Suns tricked off last year. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Obviously, they should have won that series against the Mavs, but they messed up in Game
Right.
6 and had to go to Game 7 and got blown out. This
Right.
I consider them a super team. You have a number one pick, DeAndre Ayton, who can play very well, can be a 20 and 12 guy. I
Could be.
think I think all right. You got Devin Booker, is Devin Booker. We saw that last night. And then Kevin Durant. And then you get even under his prime, CP3, he's still better than most point guards on the offensive end. Defensive end, Okay, we can start talking about that. But when we talk about super teams, the only like super duper team that we have that really was like unbelievable that we knew they had no holes was the Warriors in the last few years. That team is crazy. You know what I'm saying? They had no holes. But most of the
Right.
other super teams that we talk about, they all had holes. They all didn't have a
Right.
bench. They like the Celtics, the Miami Heat, they didn't have a bench. They didn't have a great seventh, eighth, nine, 10 person. And that's the same thing with y'all. But that's what happens when you go all in for stars like a KD. You have to give up good pieces, that will help a good team. But I would say that's because of that hate. And I think it's just going to continue with that. I think what I'm telling you is just you got to get used to it, bro. You're at the top of the mountain right now. You're at the tippy top of the mountain. Haters are going to come out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Haters are going to
Out of
come
nowhere. I mean,
out of
you tell me
out of
something that you're telling me something that I don't already. I mean, I totally
you got to
understand
take
it.
it better though.
We've been take it better. What are we talking about? Just because I'm making fun of Farbud or whatever his name is, like that dude has always trashed on the Suns for the past like 3 or 4 years. I've seen that dude tweeting about like just like calling us out and just being a hater. So I make one response, and you're what is it? What is your conclusion of what you're trying to say? Like what are you trying to say?
I mean, you need to get used to the heat or get out the kitchen. People gonna be coming at you now.
Well, get used to the heat, bro. I've been in the kitchen this whole time. The Suns just got good. We had 2 decades of not making the playoffs, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and we just got good, and we still got all this shit talking. What are you talking about? Like last year, we got beat by the Mavericks, who we beat like 20 games in a row before the playoffs. Like there's no reason for us losing or choking, and then we went to the finals against the Bucks and got all that shit talking about how we didn't deserve to even be there because other teams were injured. So I don't want to hear it that I'm not used to the Heat, because as a Clippers fan, you should understand that the Suns get a lot of shit talked on them, and I'm used to that shit. So just because I respond 1 out of 100 times,
Oh, you sent me more
I'm not gonna
texts
get
of these
lectured
people
again.
hating on y'all. This ain't the
I'm not
first
gonna get
one. I
lectured
don't
by
have
y'all.
all the receipt. I don't have all the receipts, but you
The
do get
Suns, no, it's
upset.
just
You do get
funny.
upset.
It's just funny. Like the Suns have continued to be one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the NBA as far as attempts, right? And you could argue that that is, some of that has to do with our game plan. The fact that we're shooting mid range shots, we're not attacking the basket a lot, we're not
Yeah,
getting
for
physical.
sure.
Um, we have one game where we get the calls. We get a favored calls from the ref. Some of them were questionable, some of them were deserved. I'd say that there was a few that were questionable for sure, but most of them, can we agree? Most of them were deserved.
Yes,
They were fouls. Okay.
we were playing aggressive. That
So
was how
what are
we
we
had to
doing
play.
here? So
I'm
what are we
just
doing here? Stop fouling. I
it's
mean, we
no, no, no.
we
Okay.
have one game where we get favoritism for calls, and all of a sudden everyone's bitching about it. Yet we finished bottom four of free throw attempts for the regular season, and we continue to be in that bottom five every year. So like, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about, oh, the Suns got a whistle, because we never get a whistle. Now we have Kevin Durant, and now we're going to get a little bit more free throws to balance out the scale a little bit. So it's all good. It's all good, baby.
Good. I'm glad you're in high spirits, but I will. The entire day yesterday was bad. I think it just a
Uh,
culmination of the day. The Sixers game with the calls, they didn't
yeah,
eject Embiid when he kicked. They cut him
yeah,
and gave him flavor one, and then they inject uh, Harden for a basketball move that he's been doing his entire career. I don't think he threw it maliciously. I
right.
think it was a flagrant one, maybe, but ejection is wild. But then, the Suns game, Mike Brown comes out. He said, coming into game 3, we knew we were going to get no calls. We knew they were going to call everything for the Warriors. They're at home, da 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 da. And then our game, where it was just completely, yes, we were playing aggressive. That was our game plan, was to play aggressive.
Right.
That's
And
the
that's
only,
another
we
thing
had to
too.
muck it up. We had to muck
Yeah.
it up
And you
to
guys
make
were
it a close
playing
game.
super aggressive. You were playing very
Yeah,
physical with us.
yeah, for
And
sure.
so we're gonna sit here. So it's just like, you can't play both sides of the fence. You can't come out with a game strategy of like, hey, we're gonna be extra physical in this game, and then at the end of the game complain about the foul calls.
I mean,
And I
remember,
understand that some of them were questionable, but on the flip side, some were questionable with us too. Like there was a prime example of that whenever KD we got called for a goaltending when KD didn't even touch the ball.
and
So I think there was
but
poor refereeing on both sides. It might have leaned towards us this game, or leaned towards y'all, having the worst outcome but it's a game by game kind of situation. It happens,
Mm-hmm.
and we never get the whistle in our favor. So
Yeah,
whenever
but
people are complaining about that against the Suns, I don't want to hear about it, because it's just like, dude, we always sit in the bottom 5 every season in free throw attempts. So
but
it's
that's
like one year, one out the other.
but I think you made your point on why you said at the bottom 5 though. It's because you guys are not aggressive. You're shooting mid range. It's not like no one we see.
That was without Katie.
I know that's without KD. I understand it's going to change. We talked about how it's going to change with KD.
Right.
But last night's game, I think the KD thing, which you just talked about, was karma because Bones' layup went off the backboard and then Biombo blocked it and they didn't call a goaltend,
Right.
which I think goaltending should be reviewed from in Secaucus, just like they review a 3-point line. Like how you remember they take a point off if your foot's on the line, but they review that during the break. I think a goaltending should be the same. If somebody gets called for a goaltending and shouldn't have been a goaltend, they should be like, hey, that was 2 points. 2 points goes to the team. Or it wasn't 2 points and they take away 2 points. I don't know what they can figure out, but they need to fix that because that's happened all the time now. Well, refs just can't see it. It's too fast. The game is too fast. They just can't catch a block or goaltend that quick. I'm sorry. Somebody upstairs has to catch it. You know what I mean? But I will say that, yes, we were playing grip physical, and yes, they missed a few calls on the Clippers. And I mean, they already gave y'all 46 free throws, and they probably could have got more, but it was more so the important calls. I don't think any time in crunch time these past 3 games, the refs have missed a call more than the one they missed when Devin Booker pushed Russell Westbrook intentionally and did not get the call. That was a bit ridiculous. That was an intentional, like 4 refs. What was it? Is 4? 3 refs are there, and not one of them saw it. You know what I'm saying? That's a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know, but like, if we're gonna sit here and we can sit here all day and be like, oh, I mean, especially coming from you, this is surprising because anytime that I complain about the refs, you you like roll your eyes and like you say, oh, we're not gonna sit here and talk about the refs, but yet here you are, a little desperate talking about the refs right now.
I'm not desperate.
Okay. Got you.
I'm just saying they missed. We have no conversation about the refs.
I thought we were better than this. I thought we were better than this.
That was a really big play. The entire day was bad.
It happened.
But that was look here, bro. I understand. I understand if he was driving to the basket and they missed the call. I understand if there's a push off in the last 2 minutes. I understand that. But missing an intentional foul is crazy to me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like that's what gets me mad. It's an intentional foul. I understand because you said that Russell Westbrook block on Devin Booker could have been called a foul. Yes, but some people say hands part of ball. But that's under 2 minutes. I expect those calls not to be called. I don't like playing. I don't like.
That was actually reviewed and they by the refs afterwards, and they said it wasn't a foul. So
I don't like putting the ball in the refs' hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm a coach at heart. I tell players that all the time.
But here we are talking about one call. Like I don't think that changed the game.
Bro, we were down by 4. What are you talking about?
Do you really think that you guys would have won last night?
I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, Katie's foot was completely off the gas. Like it was just Devin Booker playing y'all.
Yes, it was, and that's the thing. I didn't go into that game thinking we were going to win. Do I think you guys gave us a chance?
Talking shit. Well, everyone talking shit about us like not being a threat. I kind of agree in the sense that like we do have to like adjust and like figure out what's going on with our bench, and like there's a few other things that we need to figure out in order to like really make a run. But that said, I will say that like, we won that game. We were confident that we were going to win that game, and so confident that KD was just kind of coasting the whole game.
I mean, he still had like 26 though.
He had like 30. But you could tell that he was not like being aggressive.
But that's what I'm saying. Since the beginning, I said this, right? I said the Suns full healthy plus us full healthy is still a really tough series for the Clippers. You guys still, you know what I'm saying? Tough series. You know
it's
what I mean?
Basketball. You play your competition.
But what making me, I didn't defend y'all because I was upset about the refs, and I'm not going to defend y'all in groups. I'm not going to defend the Suns. That's just not what I'm going to do. And the other people do. I'm a Clippers fan. So I'm not liking the Suns right now. But the thing that I didn't like, well, a lot of people were just writing y'all off. Like, oh, yeah, the Suns are done. I don't believe in the Suns. They get past the Clippers. And I'm like, y'all need to calm down.
Yeah, well, it's
Then let me hold up.
typical of
The
casuals.
reason I say this is because the Clippers is going to be if we were fully healthy and y'all beat us, we were going to be the toughest team you will see that matches up very well. We match up well with the Suns on all facets. Every other
Right,
team does not.
right,
I don't think the Denver Nuggets match up with y'all very well. I think
right.
the Denver because Aiton, we say it all the time. Jokic can't do nothing versus Aiton for some odd reason.
Yeah, it's. I
Aiton
think
has
it's
to.
Aiton's more athletic, and
Like,
Jokic will still get his. He'll still get his points, but like Aiton, he plays very well against Jokic. So like
and
it kind of eliminates the gap a little bit. I would obviously Jokic is still better than Aiton hands down, but like he for some reason Aiton plays to his highest level whenever it's against Jokic for some reason.
and that's a great thing because that's their
Yeah.
best player. So their second best player is who? Jamal Murray, and that's going against Devin Booker. I got Booker all day, and then after that,
Hmm.
it's KD just sitting over there
Yeah.
chilling with nobody for them to guard. See, that's the difference because of us. We have somebody as Zubac was physical that gives Aiden trouble because he's physical. Then
Right.
obviously we have Kawhi and Paul George that balances out KD and Devin Booker.
Yeah.
After
You guys
that,
are
it's a
solid
toss up.
defensive. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't trust everybody else. So when people were
Hmm.
writing y'all off, like if y'all get past the Clippers, I don't think the Suns. I'm like, bro, I still got my money on the Suns if y'all get past us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I still gonna go with Clippers in 6. I think we can pull it out. I think Kawhi could come back. I think PG might pop back. I hope and pray the Lord he comes back, and we can make it a series. But until I see that happen with my two eyes, and not just rumors or hope, I can't see anybody beating the Suns. That's just what it is. After you know what I
In
mean?
the West.
That's how I feel. In the West. In the
Right.
West, yeah. In the East. That's a whole different
East,
conversation.
East, East, we gotta figure out some shit. We gotta
Yeah,
smooth some things out.
y'all got to be on point.
Yeah, right. I agree. I agree with you. I just think that like the Suns getting hate, Devin Booker getting hate is nothing that I'm already not used to.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, people are still surprised on how good Booker is. He's been lights out this playoff season, or this playoffs, and he's continues to be a great player in the playoffs and a superstar. Like he's just throwing up crazy shots, and
Ooh, that dribble.
Katie's just watching. I mean, I know that Katie got his 30 last night or whatever,
Katie's
but
not.
you can just tell like Katie is not. He's just trying to reserve himself, trying to maintain his energy and like not get gassed out the first round.
I'm not comparing us to the Suns, but how we play pickup, me and you,
Yeah.
is pretty much how Devin Booker and KD are doing. And all right, people
Mhm.
listen like Charles, why you always talk about them? How me and Josh play pickup is, if I'm hot or somebody guarding me that can't guard me, that thinks they can guard me, Josh is gonna keep giving me the ball,
Mhm.
and then he'll hit me with, "Hey, you good? You tired? All right, give me the ball." And then you'll
Mhm.
get the ball, you'll score, and you'll okay, you good go again, and you'll give it back to me. I think that's what they're doing. I think
Right.
KD's like, oh, you just got 15 points in the first quarter, bro. Here you go. When you're
Right.
tired, give me the ball. I'll score. When you how many you want to play off? You want what 3 plays off? All right. It's like a you take a timeout. You can be like he can be like, hey, bro, I'm a little tired. Can you have the next 3 plays? KD's going, all right, sure. I'll take the next 3 plays. Boom, boom,
Right.
boom. And then, oh, okay, I'm good now. All right, here you go. And then Booker goes off for another 15. I
Yeah.
think it's a
It's
healthy
it's
balance
been
between
good.
them two right now.
Yeah,
They don't
it's been
have no
good.
ego.
They're
It's not.
fine. They're fine. They're going to switch off. They're going to take the load. They're going to go back and forth. I'd say the thing that frustrates me the most right now is got to be Aiton. Chris Paul. He's gonna be
He's
Chris
doing
Paul.
okay.
He's
He's
doing
doing all
fine.
right. He's
He's
doing
doing
okay.
fine. Aiton, I really need him to be a little bit
Mm-hmm.
more aggressive, and especially on the defensive end. Like everyone talks about his offensive like hands and stuff and how he struggles. It's been going on forever. But
Yep.
like defensively, like he's really taken a step back. Like I don't understand like why he doesn't even attempt to contest shots anymore. Like
He doesn't.
he's solely focused on not fouling, which is great. Like we don't want to see him in foul trouble, but at least contest the shot a little bit. Like you don't want to just be a mailbox out there. Like you're just standing there and like you're not even attempting to block anything.
His
It's
timing is trash. That's why.
it's so bad, dude.
Especially when you see Biombo come back and his timing is impeccable. Like you go,
Right.
golly, bro, can you just learn a little bit of Biombo's timing? You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's
Yeah.
it. And I agree with you. If that's the difference, and I told you that that was going to be different in the series, was Aiden. You know what I'm saying? It's
Yeah.
Aiden's play. If Aiden shows up, game 2 happens. Y'all win by double digits. If Aiden's playing soft, gets in foul trouble, don't want to really block, then game 3 happens. Game 1 happens. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
know.
that's
I
what's
just think
always
he's
going to
too in his
be.
head. I think he's too in his head about the fouls. I get it. Like you're trying to make a point not to foul, but there's a line. It's a balance. Like you don't want to sit there and just do nothing because people are going to know that you're not even going to try to block them. So it's like they're going to go up easy over you, and it's not going to be a threat. So I don't know. I hope he figures that out. I did like Damian Lee being in there because he's a knockdown shooter from three, so that's good to have.
He
Uh,
got that
I want
superstar
a lineup.
call.
I want a lineup of Damian Lee. So these are the bench players I want in there. Damian Lee, Kogi, TJ Warren, and Biombo. That's it.
I
And
mean,
then
he did play.
once campaign's back, maybe put him in there somewhere. I don't know, but
I think campaign energy is what y'all are missing off the bench. I think
right,
he brings that, Bones kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? Like that Bones Island, like I'm aggressive, I'm me, I'm him. Even if I'm coming off the bench, I'm him.
right.
I'm that dude. No matter
Bones
what.
had a
Even if
couple of funny plays last night.
he
He was
did.
trying
And
to ISO Chris Paul, and it didn't work out a
oh,
lot.
18 points. So
Yeah, he, he had
he's
some he
going to
had some tough buckets, but he also he's just
I
very
told you,
dramatic. I feel when he plays.
he's got that energy. He got that I'm him energy. When he
Yeah,
sees
but
that,
just keep it. Yeah, but let's realize that one, he tried to ISO Chris Paul or like
we gonna keep ISO
twice.
and Chris Paul.
Yeah, no, twice yesterday, and it failed. Like
Mm-hmm.
hysteric. It was pretty funny. But then he had some really good shots, really good plays. He's all over the place, I feel. And I think he's good. I just think that we all have to remember that Chris Paul is like 90 years old and it's not that impressive. Like whenever you're driving on Chris Paul and scoring on Chris Paul. But
It's
that
impressive.
said, that said, like, good for him.
I mean, yeah, it is good for him. He's playing great. I think he's a young cat playing. He's in his 3rd year, so he's playing like a 3rd-year NBA player.
Yeah.
I mean, this is
He's
how we
solid
want him to
off the
play.
bench
18
for sure.
off the bench, 18 points. That's straight. Like, that shot at the end, boy, that ball went in the basket.
Right.
That
Yeah.
John, if we were playing Papa Shop at Dave and Buster, we would have got the point because the laser
Right.
it would have it would
Yeah,
it would
that
have
was
passed
tough.
through the laser, and then it would have been like, "Oh, you got the point," even though it got that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
We had 2 in and out threes at the end, and I thought were like, "Wow." Norman Powell hit every single side of the rim, then popped out. His
Right.
hit everything, and then popped. I was like, "Wow."
But I
All
just
right,
wasn't I just wasn't worried, to be honest. Like I know it was close and people all want to think a little too into that. They want to be like, "Oh, well we had our stars gone and it was still close. So what's that say about the Suns?" I'm like, everyone forget that like on it was like April 4th or whatever. We played y'all and you had Kawhi playing, you had all your starters minus Paul George and we had none of our starters playing and we only lost by like a few points. So I
yeah,
mean, that's just basketball. I mean, people play down to their competition, and it's about who wins the game in the end. So I'm not going to sit here and think too much into
y'all
like, oh,
didn't
we
do
barely won against a Clippers team that didn't have
yeah
Kawhi and Paul George. I mean, you guys are still pretty good. Like you guys have a really deep bench. You have the most depth probably of any team in the West, at
anybody
least. Yeah.
anybody in the West,
So
actually in the league. But the thing is, we have to
yeah,
people forget
maybe.
Norman Powell is a starter.
Yeah.
Norman Powell can start on at least 20 other teams. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Yeah, that he's a starter. Russell Westbrook is a starter.
Yeah.
Now,
Terrence Mann
Zubac
arguably
is
is
a
a
starter.
starter too.
And Terrence Mann, I feel like in some places could start, but I would say we have at least a few starters on the team that's like now. Obviously, if we get that lineup and you get Norman, Russ, that's what I was telling you though. That's our finishing lineup: Norman, Russ, Zubac, Paul, and Kawhi. That's crazy. That's a tough last 5 minute fourth quarter team. Now we haven't got to see it for a long time because
We'll
Norman was out.
never get to see it.
I don't know, man.
That's
I
a real
don't know.
question.
I don't know. Like that's what people always keep hitting me up. Like, why are you still a Clipper fan? Switch teams. They're never gonna be healthy, bro. They look here. All we need to be healthy is one season. All I need is one chip, and then I can like be happy, enjoy that one chip, and then keep living my life. But they know that. That's the thing. PG knows that. Kawhi knows that. To bring a championship to the Clippers is crazy. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like that's like something no one's ever fathomed. Like I don't like it's wild. No, it's I mean,
Yeah.
like don't get me wrong. I love championships. I was a Michael Jordan fan growing up. I enjoyed 6 of them. You know what I mean?
Right.
I enjoy, so it is what it is. But I will say, yesterday's game gave us hope. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, if Kawhi doesn't come back for Game 4 and he's
It's
still up
over.
in there, it's a wrap.
It's wrap. I will say I do hope that we clean house on y'all because I do not want to play a rested Nuggets team. So
Yeah,
no
they gonna
offense,
they.
I do want to win very quickly against y'all. If I mean if Kawhi's not playing, I think that will happen. But if Kawhi plays next game, it might go to like 6 or 7, but we'll see.
The game to steal was yesterday. And if you know how playoff series go, the game to steal was yesterday. I think they can steal 4 still because I think because of the outcry of the social media of the of everybody that's going to be on TV this morning and all day is going to be talking about how bad the refs were all day yesterday, and the
Mm-hmm.
team that was on the losing end of the refs being bad have a better chance of winning their next game. So do I think the Nets might win game 4? Yes, because the refs were so bad in that game.
Mm.
Do I think the Clippers have a better chance of winning game 4 because the refs were so bad? You know,
Yeah.
then yes, that's the thing. And do I think the Kings win game 4 because the refs were Mike Brown
Isn't
calling out
that
the refs?
statement in general just like ridiculous? Like I hate that. I hate that.
It
It should be
is,
objective. It
but
should be
you know
objective.
it happens.
Be based off of what happened in the past. It should be objective, and the ref should call it just how it is. I'm tired of this like subjective perspective from the refs, and just like how about just call it if is it a foul or is it not a foul? All right, that's it. I don't want it. I don't want makeup calls. I don't want superstar calls. I don't want calls that are factoring in the last game. I just call it. Is it a foul or is it not a foul? That's it. That's all I want. So I'm over that shit. Okay, last words. What are your last
The
words?
last words is that game 4. I got the Clippers winning. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I think it's gonna be another close one, but I think the Buckets fall this time.
Yeah.
Um, I gotta say this. I gotta keep saying it. Batum gotta play well, man.
Mm.
I think it's the difference. I think it's Torrey Craig and Batum. Whenever Corey Craig scores more points, a lot more points than Batum, we lose. As
Mm.
simple as that. Everybody else can do their thing.
Yeah.
Norman Powell can score all his points. Russ can score. Kawhi can score. But if we don't have a 4th person that scores at least 15, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's not going to be. We need 4 people and 20 points to win
Right.
without PG. We need 4 people. We need it. We need it. We don't get it. We ain't winning. Simple as that.
All right. My last
You
words are Devin Booker is the best shooting guard in the league. Don't
all right?
question it. It's been in question because he was out for a few games, but ain't no question. We've always known as Suns fan and as a Suns fan, and I think it should be known now. With his playoff performance and all these other playoff performances under his belt now, he is him.
Mm. All right.
Yep.
That's good. Hey, thank y'all for listening. Jason Chips.
Cheers.
Peace.